a spy received a classified mission file in a dim underground command center. The file reveals a global threat involving a stolen military device capable of triggering international chaos. He studied photographs, maps, and encrypted intelligence, unaware that the mission would change everything. He got flashback when he was a young boy, watching emergency vehicles outside his family home late at night. Back in the present, the spy boards a night flight under a false identity. A mysterious figure observes him from across the airport terminal. Arriving in a crowded foreign city, he met a secret contact hidden among the chaos of a bustling market. The contact handed him a coded key before vanishing into the crowd.
Moments later, armed men began following him. A tense chase exploded through narrow streets, ending with the spy leaping onto a moving train to escape. The pursuit stirred old memories of his youth, when he learned to run from bullies and never look back. The spy decrypts the key and discovers coordinates. The coordinates lead to an abandoned industrial complex. Inside, he discovered evidence of a massive smuggling operation. Hidden cameras begin tracking his movements. A silent fight breaks out in a dark warehouse. He eliminated the guards without raising an alarm and stole a hard drive filled with sensitive information. Memories of graduating from an elite intelligence academy flashed through his mind as he uploaded the data to headquarters. What appeared on the screen was shocking. The stolen device was only one piece of a much larger plan. A mastermind intended to create panic across multiple countries at the same time. New orders arrived immediately. The spy was instructed to infiltrate a heavily guarded gala attended by powerful figures. Disguised as a wealthy businessman, he entered the event and spotted the same mysterious observer from the airport. Before disappearing into the crowd, the stranger slipped a warning note into his pocket. It contained only 4 words: "You are being used." Doubt crept into his mind. During training, an instructor had once warned him that betrayal often comes from within. Suddenly, the gala was plunged into darkness. Gunfire erupted. While panic spread through the crowd, the spy protected innocent guests and searched for the attacker. The mysterious observer appeared again and helped him escape. For the first time, they worked together. The observer revealed information about a hidden operation and claimed someone inside the agency was involved. The spy refused to believe it. Together, they broke into a secure data facility, narrowly avoiding advanced security systems. The mission reminded him of his first field assignment, where he lost a teammate and blamed himself for years. Deep inside the facility, they uncovered encrypted records exposing decades of manipulation. False wars, false threats, secret profits. The evidence pointed toward the highest-ranking officials in his own agency. The revelation devastated him. Then, alarms began screaming through the building. A tactical team surrounded the facility. The spy realized his own agency was hunting him. A desperate escape erupted across city highways. Vehicles crashed and exploded behind them as they raced through the night. During the chase, the observer was injured. Without hesitation, the spy carried them to safety, remembering a promise he had made as a child never to abandon anyone. Before losing consciousness, the observer revealed the final location of the device, a secret fortress hidden deep within an isolated mountain region. The spy began a dangerous journey into the wilderness. Helicopters searched the area while storms battered the mountains. Climbing steep cliffs through rain and darkness, he remembered brutal survival training that had prepared him for moments exactly like this. At last, the fortress emerged from the fog. He infiltrated it through an underwater tunnel and discovered dozens of scientists working under immense pressure. The stolen device was nearly operational. Quietly, he planted explosives and downloaded critical evidence. But security forces discovered the intrusion. The entire fortress entered lockdown. An intense gunfight erupted. Fighting through endless corridors, he pushed forward, while memories of every sacrifice, every mission, and every failure flashed through his mind. Finally, he reached the control center where the mastermind awaited. There, he learned the truth. His own agency had helped build the entire operation. The mission had never been about stopping the device. It had been about silencing everyone who knew the truth. Then the device activated, transmitting launch commands across the globe. A brutal battle unfolded inside a gigantic machinery chamber. Explosions shook the fortress as both men fought among rotating industrial structures. Soon, they became trapped on opposite sides of a massive magnetic reactor. The machine began pulling every metallic object toward its core. Weapons, vehicles, machinery, and structural beams tore through the air like deadly missiles. Realizing there was no other way, the spy overloaded the reactor. The magnetic field grew beyond control. The entire fortress began collapsing inward. As the structure tore itself apart, the spy made one final decision. While escaping through a collapsing maintenance shaft, he uploaded every secret file, every conspiracy, and every piece of evidence to public networks worldwide. When dawn arrived, the truth spread across the planet. News broadcasts revealed decades of corruption and deception. 5 years passed after the fall of the fortress. The world moved on. The conspiracies were exposed, and everyone believed the legendary spy had died with the empire he destroyed. But far from the headlines, he lived in the shadows, carrying a burden that never left him. One question remained unanswered. Who ordered the deaths of his parents all those years ago? One evening, he notices a familiar symbol in an old newspaper clipping. The symbol is connected to a classified case from decades ago. The case concerns the deaths of his parents. Old memories return. He got flashback of that young boy watching emergency vehicles outside his family home. For the first time, he begins investigating his own past. He reveals that his parents were not random victims. They were investigative journalists uncovering a powerful secret network. The network later evolved into the same conspiracy he exposed years earlier. The spy discovers that one man ordered the operation. The man was never exposed in the Fortress files. He remained hidden above everyone else. The hidden mastermind now controls a private security empire. He quietly followed forgotten leads, hidden records, and buried secrets. A surviving piece of evidence finally surfaced. It pointed to a name he never expected, the former director of his own agency, the man he once trusted, the man who had vanished after the collapse. The spy decides to leave retirement one final time. He recovers old equipment from a forgotten safe house. The spy prepared for one final mission. Among old weapons and equipment, he chose only one personal item, his father's worn wristwatch. Holding it in his hands, he remembered a promise he made as a child, a promise to always seek the truth, no matter where it led. 3 days later, the trail carried him across oceans. Following hidden shipping routes and financial networks, he uncovered the existence of a remote island, protected not by walls, but by secrecy. The estate is protected by private soldiers and advanced surveillance. Deep beneath the luxurious surface, he discovered a vast underground operation larger than anything he had imagined. Then every monitor in the facility suddenly switched on. The director's face appeared across the entire complex, calm, unshaken, waiting. For the first time in years, he comes face to face with the man responsible. "Welcome back," the director said. "I've been expecting you." The spy listened as the director revealed the truth. He admitted ordering the deaths of his parents, not because they were wrong, but because they were right. They had uncovered secrets powerful people could not allow into the world. What shocked him most wasn't the confession. It was the complete lack of regret. The director believed he had saved nations through impossible choices. He believed sacrifices were necessary. The spy struggles to control his anger. The spy realizes some people never change. Alarms began sounding throughout the estate. Security teams mobilized. The hunt began. As he moved deeper into the facility, he discovered something unexpected. Many of the people working there were ordinary civilians, unaware of the larger conspiracy. Destroying the island recklessly would kill innocent people. Standing before a massive observation window, he reflected on his entire life. His childhood, his training, his fallen teammates, his parents. Every loss, every sacrifice, every promise. And in that moment, he understood what had to be done. This was no longer about revenge. It was about ending the system itself. Descending into the deepest levels of the island, he found a hidden vault containing decades of classified secrets. In the center of the archive sat a single file waiting for him. Inside were records about his parents. They had known they were being watched. They knew they would likely be killed, yet they continued their investigation anyway. Beneath the reports was a sealed letter addressed to him, a message from the past. As he read it, memories flooded back. His parents had never wanted revenge. They wanted him to live. They wanted him to become a man guided by truth rather than hatred. Then he heard footsteps. The director entered the vault. No screens, no guards, no distance. Just the two of them standing face to face among the secrets of history. Then he attacked. The two men clashed among towering archive shelves. The fight tore through decades of hidden records. Shelves collapsed. Documents filled the air like a storm. Secrets scattered across the floor. Exhausted and battered, they faced one another for the final time. The director was vulnerable. The spy finally had the opportunity he had chased his entire life. Revenge stood within reach. But before he could decide what came next, the director made the choice himself. Refusing to surrender, the final struggle erupted beside the failing core. Machinery collapsed, warning lights flashed. The entire facility shook around them. In the chaos, the spy finally defeated the man responsible for his parents' deaths. The director fell, and with him fell decades of lies, manipulation, and corruption. And the truth, the very thing so many people had died to protect, finally belonged to the world. For a long moment, he stood before his parents' graves. No words, no speeches, just silence. The kind of silence that only comes when a journey has finally reached its end. As the sun slowly disappeared beyond the horizon, he carried with him the lessons of those he had lost, the memories of those he had loved, and the peace he had spent his entire life searching for. As the black car disappeared into the sunset, a new life was waiting.